welcome everyone to this a new video again on my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elizabeth. I'm a life coach, soul therapist, and Reiki master healer. So today we're going to talk about another topic on mental health, which is maladaptive daydreaming, and it's something that was highly requested. So just a brief introduction, to this issue. It's so normal, it's so common for us to just drift off in the clouds and just start daydreaming about our goals, our fantasies, our dreams. And in fact, daydreaming is not always bad. Like, it also is used in manifesting, when you have to visualize things to create and to speed up your desires into reality. Now, the problem comes when this daydreaming is so strong, is so vivid, and it's so, it has so much, you spend so much time on it that it can disrupt your normal life. It can completely make you just lose human contact because you prefer to spend hours daydreaming instead of just interacting with reality. So this is basically the problem when it starts to interrupt your normal life and it starts to mess with your daily routine. Now, in today's video, I got some techniques for you in order to stop and break the cycle of just wasting your life daydreaming, basically. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is basically getting more quality sleep. And this makes sense, especially if you live with a very stressful environment, or if you're constantly on this work mode and you can't stop, and you don't stop until late night, then you really need to focus on your sleep, especially if you also suffer from insomnia and you know that you have trouble falling asleep. You need to just change your sleep schedule. And because you know that it takes longer for you to fall asleep, if you fall asleep usually by, let's say, 12 a.m., start going to bed at 10 or 11, 1 or 2 hours before. So your body always just relaxes, has the time to relax, to calm down, and to prepare for sleeping. Now, another tip for, coping with this maladaptive daydreaming is journaling. And this not only works with this situation, but other mental health issues. This is a great technique for self inspection and to basically analyze how your life is doing, to just give yourself some feedback. And just journaling is about everything and anything. Just write down about what you're doing, what dreams you're usually having, what fantasies you're having, and try to respond to these fantasies and why are you having them. What is maybe the reason? And with the reason, we can go to the next part, which is identifying traumatic events. And this is so related because we usually spend so much time daydreaming, especially if we want to avoid something, if we want to avoid the traumatic flashbacks and memories of the past, or if we're living in a, for example, very dysfunctional environment and it's so clear and it's so understandable that we don't want to deal with it because it's very painful, it's very stressful to deal with toxic people 24/7, right? So as a coping mechanism, we get this maladaptive daydreaming. We spend time and times in our minds, in our heads, because it's way easier and it's better for us to have some nice feeling about it rather than spending time with reality. So you gotta identify your triggers. If you spend so much time daydreaming because of your situation at home, or because of a relationship, or because of work, or studies or anything, just identify this trigger and try to solve this. If it's, for example, a situation at home, I specialize in healing and recovering from narcissistic abuse, whether it's a relationship or it's parents. And what I really recommend, spending less time with those toxic people that are literally sucking your energy out of you, while you plan your life outside of this place. So if you really want to move out, you really need to start saving money, and calculating how your life is going to be. You need to get a job, you need to just plan your life, and the less you tell these toxic people, the better. The less they know, the better for you, your more mental and emotional peace. Now, identify your triggers. Next step would be mindfulness meditation, and this helps a lot if you either have intrusive thoughts or you have this daydreaming that gets into your head and you can stop thinking about certain fantasies. Now, meditation is great for just observing your thoughts, and not in the way of controlling, but because you're observing them, you're gaining access and awareness of them, of which thoughts are really affecting you. And the next time, this really takes some efforts, but the more you do it, the more persistent and consistent you are every day. The more you do it, the more you catch this specific thought or fantasy or daydream. And then you say, hey, I gotta stop, I gotta go back to reality, to whatever task you're doing, homework or either things like that. So the more you do it, the better it gets. Observe your thoughts as if they were clouds. Don't interact with them, don't engage with them, just observe. And this is usually what meditation does. Now, it's important to give yourself self-love and care and compassion. So in your journey, when you're noticing that you're improving, give yourself self-praise. Get a gift, get something for yourself. Just reward yourself. Another tip is that, for example, if you're working or if you have homework from school or college, you gotta put a timer, okay? You put a timer for daydreaming, and then you put a timer for doing homework. And what I usually recommend is just doing the 40-20 rule. For example, just 40 minutes studying or doing homework or working, and 20 minutes you can daydream or do another tasks like drinking water, having some food, going to the bathroom a little bit. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing for seeing more on mental health and spirituality, and just clicking on the bell button for staying notified of new updates, and like this video as well. What I recommend is music, and I'm not saying music as upbeat or pop, funk or whatever, because this distracts you a lot in work and studies. I mean white noise or binaural beats or meditation music, this calm, peaceful music that surely helps you to relax and concentrate, especially alpha or beta waves. I will add some links in the description of my favorite ones. Now, this was all for today. Hope you really liked it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did. And I will upload more videos on this. Just tell me any topic. If you have any questions, I will make sure to answer them. Sending hugs. Hope you have an amazing day, and see you in the next video.